Hi everyone, it's Michelle. Welcome back. So today I thought I would talk to you guys about how much did I spend in the month of January. And I will say I was very excited because I thought I did really well until I added everything up, and I did end up spending a lot more than I had planned on spending, and I'll talk to you about why that is and how I feel about it. So, and the other thing I'm going to do at the end of the video is talk about how I'm doing on my use up this palette. So I decided to participate in the pan this palette challenge, and I picked the Urban Decay Vice 3 palette. So at the end of the video I'll talk about how that's going. So let's jump in and get started. Let's talk about what I bought this month. I think I've shared almost all of it with you guys, so I'll go real quickly. So the first thing I bought, and I already talked about, was the NARS Narcissist palette, and this is the one that is the dual intensity eyeshadows. It comes with 8 shadows. I'm not going to kind of rehash them, but this was $79, so with tax, I think the shipping was free. With tax, it was $83.94. So you know, this was a significant purchase. I do love it, and I do think it was unique enough that I am glad that I purchased it. I do use this on a very regular basis, and I'm glad that I have it. And I also think that although it was, you know, it was $80 basically, there are 8 shadows in here, all of which I will use. So, you know, it's roughly $8 or $10 a shadow, and they're very nice shadows, and this will last a good while. So I'm not sorry I got this. What else did I get? I picked up, and I talked about these as well, a couple of IT Cosmetics brushes. So Ulta, I had an Ulta 20% off coupon for prestige brands, and I chose to pick up these 2 brushes. So, and I've already talked about them. They are both from the Live Beauty Fully line, and I love them. Even, you know, I know they're still new, but I use this brush every day, several times a day when I touch up my powder. And I use this almost every day for bronzing my face. So I'm glad I purchased them. They were not inexpensive, however. This brush is normally $40, but with the 20% off and then plus tax, it ended up being $34.72. And this brush, I think it was $36 normally, and with the discount and then tax, it was $31.03. So not inexpensive, you know, $65, $66 for the 2 of them. But I love them, and and they're very high quality. They clean beautifully. I love them. So I am glad I purchased them. Now let's talk about a little, like, where my bigger purchase came in. I talked about before that they are discontinuing the Rachel K CC cream in the color neutral, and I was out of mine, and Lisa from Lisa D1 got another shipment of them in, and this was my last chance to get them. And then they're going to be gone. So I'm, you know, and I haven't found anything that I like quite as much as this product. So I stocked up. I bought 4 of them because I won't be able to get them again. And, you know, as long as I don't open them and I store them properly, they won't go bad. So I bought 4 of them, which should get me through, you know, well over a year, maybe a year and a half. So that was a significant purchase, though. They're $39 each, so that was $156. So that was a chunk. However, it's something I will use up over time, and I won't have to purchase again for, you know, I can't get it again anyway, but I shouldn't have to get primer or sunscreen for my face for a good long while. So that was $156. And then I also wanted to try the hair oil that everybody's been talking about and that Lisa decided to stock, and it is the Nanatsu Revive Intense Hair Oil. So it looks like this. So I'm always looking for things to keep my hair protected from the heat and soft and shiny. This was $24.99. The jury for me is still out on this. I like it, but it makes my hair super soft. So I have to be careful what days I use it, because if my hair is too soft, then it just lays flat. But I love the smell of this, and when my hair is feeling particularly dry, it feels really good on my hair. So that was $24.99. And then, you know, I had to pay shipping for that and the Rachel K, so that was another $5.99. So in total, I spent $336.67, which is a lot of money for 1 month. So my goal for February is to do a lot better than that, but I don't feel like I bought a lot of stuff because, you know, half of that money really was stocking up on this product, which I won't be able to get again. So, you know, I feel okay about that, but it was a significant spend this month. It was. So I wanted to share that with you. So my total for January was $336, basically $337. Way too much. February, I'm going to try and do much better than that. So yeah, that was my spend. I didn't need any hair care products. I did pick up the oil, but like for shampoo and stuff, I was well stocked. I bought some things in December. My hairspray is still holding up, although I may need to pick up some hairspray this month. And my skincare, I am working through my back stock of skincare, so I shouldn't need to get any skincare right away either. So hopefully February will be a little bit better on my budget. So let's talk about the This palette. And I will kind of put this at the end of my monthly what did I spend, because I want to keep this top of mind for me, and I want to kind of share how it's going throughout the year. So I chose, like I said, the Urban Decay Vice 3 palette, which I believe was limited edition. I don't know if you can still get it. But I still, to this day, really do enjoy using this palette. I'm wearing this today. I make sure that I use this a couple times a week at least. I can tell you that I'm going to burn through these shades first, because I use these every time I use the palette as transition shades and, you know, sort of a brow highlight shade. But these colors are really, really nice. I will say the more I use it, how do I want to say this? Some of the shadows, as I've gotten deeper in the pans, have gotten a little bit chunky with some of the, they're just not as smooth as they were when I first started using it, and I'm not sure why that is. It's not unusable by any stretch of the imagination, but I do find for some of them, especially the ones with more shimmer in them, that if I apply them with my finger, I get a much better look on my eye, a much smoother look on my eye, and a much more metallic look on my eye. And I used to talk about this when I did a lot more get ready with me videos or tutorial videos, that if you are working with like a satiny shade or a metallic shade, sometimes the best way to apply them is with your finger. If you think about when we swatch a shadow, right, we go in and we rub our finger in it and we, you know, there it is. It's gorgeous. But when you put that on a brush, it doesn't go on the eye like that. And then, you know, when I swatch this on my hand, it looks very much like it did on my finger. But when you apply it with a brush, to get this kind of look, you've really got to pack it on, which can be a challenge. So if you just use it off of your finger onto your lid, it works really well. And really for me, whenever I'm using a satiny shadow or a shimmery shadow, I tend to do that, especially when I want really high shine. And if you have mature lids and you're trying to use satiny shadows, a lot of times the finger can lay it down more smoothly on the lid because you control your finger. You're not at the sort of mercy of brush bristles, or, you know, am I holding the brush properly, or am I getting, you know, am I getting the best use out of the brush? So I would suggest that if you have shadows you're working with that are maybe a struggle for you, that you know, because look how pretty that is on, like when you swatch it with your finger, and when you put it on your skin with your finger, you get that same look. So I have found that that's how I use most of these shadows, is I put them on with my finger, and then if I need to blend out an edge, I will use a brush just to blend out the edge. And that seems to work really well. And I will also share that, so I'm wearing this today, and I'm actually wearing some of the things I like to do. So I am wearing these two colors. So this pink, Alien, when you used on its own, it's quite pink, and that will scare some people away. And also for me, for every day, it's a little too much for someone my age. But if I layer it with Sin, I believe Last Sin, if I layer these two together, this tones down the pink enough to where it's just a pretty soft pink, but it's more pink than if I use Last Sin on its own. And like I said, these shadows layer beautifully together. So I do like to have that combo quite a bit. And I also like to layer, so today I'm wearing Freeze, and I've got it layered with Heroine. So these two together, you still get sort of the shimmery part of Freeze. I don't know with my lighting if you're going to catch it, but you still get the shimmery part of Freeze, but the dark blue deepens it a bit so it doesn't, again, look, because some of these colors can be a little age inappropriate, I feel, for me to be comfortable. If you're comfortable with this, go for it. I think makeup is about art, and, you know, for the most part, you know, you should do what you're comfortable with. For me, I feel like I'm trying too hard when I wear some of these colors without toning them down a little bit. So I like to layer these two. I also like to layer the green and the blue with this black right here, and then they're just stunning. And I will use like the blue layered with the black or the green layered with the black and do a smoky eye with it, and it's just beautiful because you get just enough of the blue coming through or just enough of the green coming through to make it interesting. So yeah, I thought I'd give you an update on that. I haven't hit pan on anything. It's only the first month, but I am using it a couple times a week, and I do leave it out. And I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to use this palette up. I really do enjoy using this palette. I don't know what it is about the palette. Like I said, it isn't, the shadows are a nice quality. They're not the best shadows I've ever used. They're not, you know, super creamy, buttery, but they're beautiful on. They last all day, and there's a good color selection in there. So I am still enjoying it. So I thought I would share that with you this month as well. So that is it for today. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, and I will talk to you all again soon.